All right, let's talk about the 1830 federal census. Um, this is kind of what the blank form looks like. And in 1830, they went a little hog wild on everything they wanted, and so you couldn't put it all on one page. So most of the people, this bottom part here with the slaves and the free colored people and the people who are in foregoing and all that kind of stuff, most people just ignored all of this. But even up here, so once they got from the ages of 0 to 20, it broke it down every 5 years. Under 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. And then once you got into the above 20, it was every 10 years. 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, all the way up to over 100. Okay? And they did that all for the males, and then they did it again for the females. Okay? So they broke it down a lot more granularly for whatever reason they thought they needed to do that. Okay? But most of the people just ignored all this other stuff down here just because it didn't apply in most cases. And I've never seen one where they did try to put some of that stuff in. Doesn't mean they didn't. I just haven't found it. So if you do find this, you'll have to customize the note taking based on what you find. Okay. Excuse me. But since there's so many columns here, and most of them, or a lot of them, will not even apply. So I suggest that you don't try to put in all of them that are here and mark zeros by those. I would just say don't put those in because they don't apply. Okay? That way your notes still have the information that you need, but it's not overwhelming. Okay? So let's go back to the 1830 census and Caleb Tracy. Okay, so you see this is kind of the information that is on that census. So there's like 10 or 15 columns for each for the males, and then there's same columns all over here for the females. So we go back to our here's Caleb, back to Roots Magic. Look at our notes. Now I've already done all the work, so you don't have to sit here and watch me type all this crap in again. Okay? But because it's in this particular case, it started getting a little confusing as to who I needed to look for and who was missing, because the children are now getting old enough to where they'll start having families of their own and they won't appear with Caleb. Okay? And in this is the case here. So I went through and I filled in all the columns, okay, with the boys and the girls, and then I put the names out here by them so that I could keep track of who was there and who was missing. All right. As I did that, okay, everything lined up real good. Once I got to Moses, everything before Moses, not in there. Okay. But here's basically the same type of information, the 1830 New York Federal Census for Ellisburg. I wanted to check one thing here. Okay, yeah, Ellisburg is without an H, and somehow I got it in here with an H. So I will take that out. Okay. So basically that's the 1830 census, and because there's so many columns, I eliminated a lot of the columns. Now what I didn't do is what you'll notice here is this column here, and if you look at the other column that goes with it, which is this one, okay, which is 30 to 40, they're both, in both the male and the female, are they don't have any data in them. So I took that column out. However, because this one, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This one has boys, but it has no girls. And this one has girls, but no boys. So I went ahead and left those in. So here's the boys, no girls. Boys, no girls. Girls, no boys. But I left those in there because there was data in that applied. Okay? So that's kind of where we're getting with Caleb anyway, is that his family is starting to dwindle because some of them are old enough now to get married. Okay? So we'll save that. And then look at this. All right, so here's Abram. Anne died, okay, before the 1830 census. So it's just Lucretia and Abraham. I have not found Lucretia in the 1830 census. Like I said, it's just really hard to find people. But I did find Abraham with a wife and a child. Now, previously, well, I cannot find anything about either of these two people. They are in the 1830 census, and I know that she died in 1831. So evidently, they had a kid, but after 1830, none of this exists. At least I haven't found anything yet. And then Abraham, see, he marries again, and his first child is in 1831. So I'm still looking for them. But this is why it is important to look at the census records, because previously to looking at the 1830 census for Abraham, I didn't know about this. Okay? And today I still don't know about this really, other than I know these two existed. I just don't know anything about them. So more research will have to be done. But because of the 1830 census, I found them. They're there, and I just have to do a lot more research to nail down for sure what's going on there. But in any case, that's the 1830 census, and you will find that as the census goes along, Caleb's family starts to get smaller and smaller. Okay? So that's basically the 1830 census.